What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, I'm going to share with you what I believe are the 9 biggest reasons why men simp. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Dwayne Bellman, salute. Now, before we get started, we need to establish what a simp is and what it isn't. And I have to take a little issue with a lot of my younger fellas out there who have a wide, broad definition of what a simp is. A simp isn't a guy who shows women attention, who likes women, or is interested in dating, or gives a compliment. A simp is somebody who gets taken advantage of, who goes out of his way to please a woman at the detriment of himself and allows himself to be humiliated. You know, a sucker. That's what a simp is, not a gentleman. So now that we've firmly established what a simp is and isn't, let's talk about why a lot of guys do simp. Starting with the first reason. Most guys who simp do so because they lack self-respect. Because a simp has a lack of self-respect, he puts a woman above himself. He feels inferior. When you feel inferior, you let the person in the superior position take advantage of you. This all stems from low self-esteem and a lack of self-respect. And for my simps out there, yes, you're being humiliated. You can't enter into a relationship feeling like you're the inferior person. Women aren't better than you just because they're women. So one of the most important things you need to take into the dating scene is a high level of self-respect. Another trait that's common in a lot of guys who simp, they lack a sense of purpose. Every man, in my opinion, needs to be on purpose. And a guy who isn't tends to elevate women above him because he doesn't have anything driving him, thus making him put too much importance on women. When you have goals, dreams, and aspirations you're chasing, you're less likely to allow yourself to be humiliated on that path. Simping for a woman just distracts you from your path, and if you're someone who has a sense of purpose, you won't allow that to happen. But on the other hand, a guy who lacks purpose and direction is easily distracted and easily taken advantage of, especially by women. You want a way to remain focused and make it less likely to be taken advantage of by the fairer sex. Be on your purpose. Next up on the list is by far one of the biggest reasons guys simp. That's that they believe being overly nice to a woman is the way to get her attention and her affections. This couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, the guy that's being overly nice is almost using it as a manipulative tool, trying to guilt a woman into liking you. Now hear me out. I'm not telling you should be rude to a woman or not kind. You should be kind to a woman, not nice. There's a big difference. A man who's kind does it because it's the right thing to do. He's generous and compassionate. A nice guy does it because he's trying to curry favor. And this is what simps do a lot of times. They'll go above and beyond, be extra nice, and think this is a way to get to a woman. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women who will take advantage of this niceness, but they won't respect you. Once again, leading back to that key word, a lack of self-respect. So be kind to women. Don't be nice. Don't be a simp. Another common reason that men tend to simp is because it was taught to them. Men of my generation and younger than me were actually taught you're supposed to put a woman on a pedestal. We were taught that women should be treated in such a grandiose fashion because they're better than us just because they were born a woman. That makes them special. That's not the case. If you're taught that automatically someone is better than you, you're likely to let them take advantage of you. You're likely to bend over backwards, like she's some queen just for the mere fact she was born a woman. Huge mistake, leads to a lot of simping. Now, don't get me wrong. When you meet the right woman, you should treat her well. Once you guys have established a relationship, a trust, and a bond, and you know it's going somewhere, definitely nothing wrong with treating her very well. But just because she's a woman doesn't mean she deserves to be put on a pedestal. It shouldn't be automatic. Which segues nicely into the next reason why I believe a lot of men simp. It's because we're producing a lot softer man nowadays. Over the last few decades, we taught men to be less assertive, less aggressive, be less direct, and dare I say, less masculine. A less masculine, much softer man is easily taken advantage of. A man is supposed to be assertive, aggressive, and strong. When you're none of these things, you're much more likely to let somebody take advantage of you, including a woman. We have started to fill this world with a bunch of beta males. A beta male gets taken advantage of. Now, I'm not telling you need to be some caveman, harsh, rude guy, but you do need to be a man. A man doesn't allow himself to be taken advantage of. He's assertive, he's aggressive, he's direct, but he's still kind and compassionate. Let women be soft. That's not for us. Be soft, be taken advantage of, be a simp. Next up is a common mistake that can easily lead to a man simping. That's putting too much attention too early on one woman. Here's how this can sometimes happen. A simp will meet a new beautiful woman and automatically become enamored with her at the expense of anybody else he might be interested in. This is a huge mistake. When you cut everybody else out and place all your attention on this one person you just met, you tend to overvalue her attention and her affection. You don't know her that well. She hasn't earned all your attention yet. I firmly believe that a single guy should be dating more than one woman. Once you narrow down on the woman you have the most attention to, then you focus your attention solely on her, but only when she's earned that attention. Once you guys have established a bond and you realize she's the one for you, then it's time to put in an A+ effort. But if you do this too early with a woman you don't know, you tend to overvalue her. When you overvalue something, you put too much into it, easily allow you to be taken advantage of, transforming you into a simp. So when you first meet a woman, keep things light, get to know her. Don't put her on a pedestal before she's even come close to earning it. Next up is a mistake a lot of guys make that can easily turn them into a simp. Thinking that a beautiful woman is very much different from any other woman. Now here's the thing, a beautiful woman will get more attention. She does have more value on the dating marketplace, but she's still a woman. Now don't get me wrong, a beautiful woman does deserve and has earned, just by being beautiful, hey, we're visual creatures, better treatment. But not to the point where you allow yourself to be humiliated or taken advantage of. Treat a beautiful woman well, but don't think just her beauty makes her special. It does give her some advantages, but that doesn't mean you should let her take advantage of you. Although a beautiful woman does have more value than any other woman, you still should treat her like you have value. Another huge reason why men tend to simp is that, believe it or not, simpish behavior actually gets rewarded, but only on a superficial level. Here's what I mean. A simp tends to agree with women just because they're women. A lot of people, men and women both, love having yes men around. Who doesn't like to be agreed with? So sometimes this can lead to positive attention from women, but not on a deep level, and it doesn't lead to respect. She may like having you around, but that doesn't mean she likes you. She may enjoy that surface level confirmation you're giving her by always agreeing, by always simping, but after a while it becomes a turnoff, and she's definitely not looking at you from a romantic perspective. So this leads to a lot of confusion in the simpish guy. He's getting positive attention, but not in the way he wants. But then he may begin to double down on the simping to try to increase the reward. It doesn't work. Have a backbone, be a man. The rewards you receive by doing that will far outweigh what you get by being a simp. Another huge reason why a lot of simps simp is because they don't have the understanding of the difference between pursuing women and chasing women. And this kind of leads back to my introductory definition of what a simp is and isn't. A man should pursue a woman. He should be interested in what women like. He should pursue a woman because he desires her and wants her, not because he feels like he needs her. A simp feels like he needs a woman, thus he's going to chase her. What you need to be doing is pursuing women. You add a woman to your life because she adds value, because your 1 and 1 together will equal 3, not because you're coming from a place of desperation and chasing her. This is what simps do. Desperate for something and chasing it, you tend to go out of your way. You tend to bend over backwards, and this can lead to simpish behavior. Now remember what I said. A man should be a gentleman. He should pursue women. He should want them in his life. There's nothing wrong with knowing what women want and complimenting from time to time. But remember, you should pursue them, not chase them. Pursuing gets you a quality woman. chasing a woman makes you a simp. Now, I always feel like it's important to know why someone does what they do. That's the best effective way to changing behavior. So I hope throughout the course of this video, especially for my simps out there, you realize why you've been doing what you're doing and you can make changes. Start pursuing the women, stop chasing them, stop being a simp.